latest TexTalk webinar. My name is Josh Franzen. I will be your host and moderator today. I am joined by our guest speaker, Jess Stambaugh from SavvyMoney, which powers our credit connection tool here at Texans Credit Union. As a reminder to everyone, this webinar will be recorded today. Thank you for joining. And just a little bit of housekeeping tools. We will have a Q&A session afterwards. So just go ahead and write your questions in the Q&A button or on the chat, and we'll get to those at the end. And as a reminder that the content being shared in this webinar should not be considered as a financial, investment, or tax advice. Please always, before making an investment or financial decisions, seek advice from professionals like personal financial advisors, tax advisors, or other experts who can provide guidance tailored to your specific needs and your financial situation. And without further ado, I will turn it over to our guest of honor today, Senior Partner Manager Jess at SavvyMoney.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for being here with us. I do want to make a quick change to the screen, so bear with me here as I navigate that. All right, and Josh, just a quick verification, everyone can see okay?
I believe so.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Jess Stambaugh. I am a Senior Partner Manager here at SavvyMoney. I've been a partner with Texans since they took you guys live with the new Credit Connection tool. And I'm really excited to dive a little deeper into the tool and some of the new capabilities we've added since you guys have had access to it as well. The Credit Connection tool puts you in charge. It's way more than just a credit score tool. You can access real-time credit scores. You can make smarter decisions with our credit score simulator tool. You can protect what matters most by reviewing your credit profile, setting up credit goals to improve your score, and live life to the fullest by managing now your budget. To take a look at how we live within the online banking space, this is what you might see if you weren't registered currently. This would be kind of an example of what you should see in your desktop on the main dashboard. We live in that right top corner area that's kind of highlighted. It may say Credit Connection here. This is just a demo, but you would just see a scrolling number between 720 and 820. Never fully landing on a score, but you can see all of the different features and benefits of the tool. When you click on Show My Score, it takes us into the authentication process where you opt in. We do notify you that this is a soft pull credit environment. It will not affect your score. And for that reason, you'll probably likely see a little bit of a different score than when you might apply for an auto loan, for example, with Texans. So when you click on here, you're authorizing SavvyMoney to continue or pull your credit report and show that back to you through the tool. And then you're also invited to look at some additional offers provided by Texans Credit Union. You simply check the box and click continue. We do all the heavy lifting for you behind the scenes and get you enrolled. Once you are enrolled, then here we would see the registered view. This would now then show your credit score, the rating that's associated with the score, the last time that was updated, and then any score or credit usage, up or down change in percentages here. And we'll also notify you of any new credit profile alerts here. You can click into the dashboard by the Show Full Report button, and you may also see some additional offers down here below that you may qualify for. In mobile, we're located on the main accounts page. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of your open accounts, you'll be able to see the credit score tile here. On the left side device, this is the unregistered view. So you click there, go through the same authentication process that we showed in the previous screen. And then once you're enrolled, you would see your credit score, any up or down change, and where you place on the odometer, as well as the last updated date. Now we can take a look at Credit Connection and what all tools are available to you inside. So I'm going to escape from the presentation and go into a live demo here. On the main credit score and report page, this is where you will land when you're enrolled. You can jump in and see your credit score here, your rating. There's even an information icon there that you'll be able to see all of the different ratings and what credit score tiers those ratings would receive. You can see the last update here. And I do want to pause and note that we are showing a credit score through the Vantage Score 3.0 model from TransUnion. This is likely different than the underwriting score model and bureau that Texans uses to underwrite their loans with, which again goes back to why you should expect to see maybe a little bit of a different score here than when you apply for a loan. Directionally, though, the behavior of your credit should go in this on both of those credit score models and bureaus. When you click refresh score here, we will refresh the score if there's been a change and any details reporting in your credit report down here. And then the next update will be available in a countdown up here, so every 24 hours. To the right, you can see the offer carousel, again, just cycling through and showing you all of the different offers that you might have opportunity to maybe save money or maybe even refer a friend and grab an extra $500 a year. Underneath these top section tiles, we have what we call the score tool belt. So we've got the score analysis tab that we default to. And first underneath this tab, we're going to give that overall score rating a little bit more education, as well as break down the credit score by each segment and give you a grade here in each of these. Who thought we were done with grade school, right? We're still getting graded on our credit report based on our performance. So if you click into one of these tiles, I clicked on the score rating, you can learn a little bit more about what that rating means and some overall recommended actions on what you might need to do to either improve or keep that great rating depending on your situation. On the right side, you can see a points journey to see how far you are away from the excellent rating. We're really close, only 27 points away. Next, you can watch your credit score history over time. So as you make changes in each of these categories over the course of your credit profile life, you may see some up and down dips depending on those that have the big impacts. You can also take a look at your average credit score that's reporting in your zip code compared to your score to see how you rank there. Going into each of those credit segments, first we've got payment history. In this particular scenario, we've got a grade A in this category, so we're paying all of our bills on time. We notify you that 40% of your credit score is based on the history of your on-time payment, so hey, way to go, you're doing a great job. But just because you're doing a great job doesn't mean that we want you to slip. So we still provide some recommended actions, things about how a missed payment could maybe affect your credit score. Or here's some tips on setting up auto payment and bill payment, or learn about common budgeting mistakes. You want to dive in and learn a little bit more throughout these hyperlinks throughout the pages. Simply click on, and the pop up of a quick blog article will be provided for you to read a little more in depth. On the right side of payment history, you can see your performance history for all of your accounts, accounts that are being paid on time, any in collections, any that may have been late in the last 12 months, and then the last time that you reported a delinquency. And then further to the right, again, another performance chart based on the payment history of your trade lines. In credit usage, we see a yellow indicator up here at the top saying, what's that mean? Well, we're getting a grade C. So because of that lower grade, we're calling a little bit of attention that we need to take some action in this category. Credit usage makes up 23% of our credit score based on how much money we've spent on credit cards that have credit limits. So in this case here, we're going to pull in all of your open trade lines and the balance information that's reporting, and then see where you might need to take action on specific cards. In this case, I'm overpaying my Chase card, my Citi card, and I've got a discount tire card. What we're showing here in the visual is that to improve my credit score, I need to pay these balances down below at least 50%. Our ideal recommendation is to hold those balances less than 30. Again, more recommended actions to go a little bit deeper into how we can do that. And then we can also take a look at our credit usage history, again, a chart performance over time. I'll tell you usually in Q4 around holiday spending time, my credit usage goes up and then comes back down over the course of Q1. So you may see some, changes throughout the course of the year, but you'll be able to see this over a 6-month time frame. In account mix, we're getting a grade A here. Account mix makes up 11% of our credit score in this model. It's based on the mix of your revolving and installment accounts. So we break down those accounts over here to the right side based on real estate, auto, student, etc. here. And then we also show those account categories. I've got 12 installment and 4 revolving accounts so far. No crazy recommendations here, but as we move over to credit age, I can see 21% of my credit age is based on just that. What's the average age of my credit, as well as the oldest account that I have open. And then in inquiries here, a lot of people have a question, well, is this going to be an inquiry when I get into this monitoring tool? We will not report as an inquiry. Inquiries are defined as anyone who's recently opened credit accounts or a hard credit inquiry pulling a report through a lender. This is not a lender tool, so you can come in here every day, a couple of times a day if you want, and it will not affect your credit score or add to your inquiries list. Inquiries make up 5% of our credit score, and currently we have no reporting credit, recent inquiries reporting. Down below the score analysis tab, as I'm going to skip over this section here and I'll come back to it here in a moment. But down below, you can see a couple of familiar charts here. One with the score history that you saw in the performance pages, and then our payment history and our credit usage history. This is really nice to be able to overlay those charts so you can see if I were to dip a payment one month, I should expect my credit score to come down as well. If my credit usage were to go higher in those November, December timeframes, I should also expect my credit score to come down. So it's kind of a if this, then this scenario. And you can monitor this over 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years history. In this demo environment, we're pretty even reporting month to month, but you'll see how dynamic that is for you and your situation. Thinking back up here to the second set of tiles, the credit score action plan takes all of those tiles that we just reviewed and lists them by the highest level of impact if they received a grade B or below, so that you know where you need to pay the most attention and take action first. The financial checkup tool I'll demo here at the end of this, but then setting up your credit score goal. This is a quick link to another tool belt item we have, just another way to access that same tool. And I'll show you that here in a moment. Next, I'm going to dig into the credit report detail. Within credit report, you'll see a summary at the top of the page summarizing all of your open accounts, total balances, monthly minimum payments, any delinquencies or derogatories that may be reporting, and then your latest inquiries. As we scroll down, you'll see each of your open trade lines by product, and then you'll be able to see a few other things depending on what product those are. Let me point those out to you. Starting with credit cards, you can see that utilization again here, where I'm overutilizing that Chase card, that Citi card, and Discount Tire. I could maybe open this up and learn a little bit more about each of these trade lines as well. All of the account detail, when it was open, what's been my highest balance, what is my true credit limit, and then any payment details here. Currently, we're reporting on-time payments, as we know from that main page. If I were to have skipped a payment throughout this history, though, a red X would appear here on the key and in the month and year that I missed that payment. Closing that back up. Down below each of your open trade line products here, you can also open closed accounts that have been reported and closed out in the past. You will also be able to open that up for any kind of additional detail. Next, we have real estate and auto loans. Since these are technically installment loans instead of revolving loans like the credit card trade lines here, instead of showing how much you're utilizing within the balance and credit limit, we're going to show you how much you've paid off. So, blue at the top or to the right is really what you want to see to get towards the end of the payoff of that trade line. And then we have your student loan section and any other loans that may be reporting, maybe without a particular product type attached to it. These are often things like recreational vehicles or just other miscellaneous reported loans. Following the trade lines, you can see any collections that may have been reported, any recent inquiries, and then public records, if any. You'll also be able to see personal details. These details are updated from the Bureau as of the last time that you submitted an actual application for credit. So some of this may be previous addresses, sure, but it might be 3 or 4 addresses ago, depending on your situation. So just be mindful that everything here is only as of the last reported application. For that reason, you may see an old employer in here as well if you've recently taken a new employer. This information is not provided by Texans. This is coming from the credit bureau. But if you happen to see any other kinds of errors that you truly don't recognize, maybe a trade line, maybe there was a payment that's reporting as a missed, but you don't believe that's accurate, you can start a dispute right here with TransUnion directly to the bureau. You can either log in if you have a membership account or create an account and file the dispute. Once TransUnion investigates that particular error and finds it to be valid, not only will they update your credit profile, but they'll share that information forward to Experian and Equifax bureaus as well, so that information can be updated there if there's a discrepancy. Back at the top of the page, I skipped over, but want to show you, there's also a downloadable version of this report into a PDF. So feel free to take a look at this if you wanted to print that out, share it with your service representative so that you can review it together. If you are sharing with a service representative, please be mindful that this is secure information and we want to make sure to share this through a secure email or a secure portal that Texans may offer for you. It will provide all of your trade line detail all the way completely opened up. And as you scroll to the bottom of this too, you'll also be able to see any corresponding offers that you qualify for. This is a really long report here. Sorry about that. Here with, for example, you might be able to see some rates you might qualify for depending on if you took out a new or used or refinance your auto for specific loan terms. Next on the tool belt, we have Score Simulator. This is where you can come out here and say, what would happen to my credit score if I were to do X? So if I were to take out an auto loan, for example, for let's say $35,000, what would happen to my score? Now, today I'm demoing in a mock user environment, so I won't return an actual score. But once you're enrolled and you play with this calculator, you should see an indication of what would happen to your credit score. You can also stack these particular behaviors. The behaviors available are applying for new credit, so getting a new loan and by loan type, getting a new credit card with a certain limit, transferring your balances to a new card, so those balance transfer options, and then maybe getting a new inquiry from a new credit card application. Just toggle that on to get that score. Some of the other ones below is managing balances, things like increasing the balances on your credit card. What if I need to take out some additional funds to make a purchase? Raise your credit limit on your cards. Pay down balances. So, what would happen if I paid down that Chase card that I'm overusing? Or pay off all your credit card balances? Simple toggle turn on. Or what would happen if you close your oldest credit card? Down at the bottom, you can make some changes to what happens if I were to miss a monthly payment, or if I'm not making monthly payments on time, how would it affect if I started to do that? Again, because you can stack this, maybe I wanted to see what would happen on that Chase card pay down and taking out an auto loan at the same time. Both of those actions would result in one score, where just the auto loan, if I were to X out of the payment balance, would be a different score here. So that's how you can play with that calculator. This is a great tool to use in this soft pull environment because you're not taking out a new inquiry, you're not taking out a new trade line. So it's not impacting your credit, but it gives you a good idea of what would happen if you were to make a change like this. Next, on our credit score goals tool, here is a scenario where you will be able to select a couple of slider tools to improve your credit score over a period of time. All that you have to do is come in here and say, I want to get up over 800, that illustrious 800 number, right? I'm only 47 points away. And you can see as you change the slider, that the points will tell you how many points you are. So what differential you're looking at there. Then down below, how many months do you want to achieve your goal? Do you want to take 6 months to do it? Do you want to do 12 months, 18, or 24? I'm going to say give myself, at least a year. 47 seems like a lot. Maybe it's not. We'll see. Why are you setting up a goal is going to be the final question. You plan to buy a car. Just overall, I want to improve my financial health. I'm planning for another big purchase that requires credit, or I plan to buy a house. These reasons help TransUnion provide back specific recommendations to help you down one of these paths and journeys. If you don't have any of those or don't want to select one, other is an option for you. When you click next, in the live environment, I'm going to explain what happens. Again, I'm demoing in a mock user, so I'm going to be returning that we don't have any recommendations. In the live environment, we will have recommendations for you, and that will be based on the answers you provided in the setup, as well as your current credit profile. So for example, it might say something like, hey, Jeff, pay down your Chase credit card by $3,000 to improve your credit score. So I know exactly what I need to do to start taking action in the next 12 months towards that goal. As I achieve certain milestones between the 753 and 800 credit score, I will receive some updated emails updating me that I've achieved those specific milestones. I can come out here and edit or modify that goal. I can also come out here and delete a goal. Once I achieve 100%, we'll throw out confetti on the screen and make it really fun. And then you'll also have a tracker during the entire process so you can see your improvement, much like the graphs back on the main page here. I'll pause here. Josh, anything from Texans that you wanted to reiterate over anything that I went over so far?
Yes. So this is a complimentary tool for all members of Texans Credit Union. We encourage our members to use Credit Connection and all the features that it has. One, it provides additional resources and tools for our members so that they can take better control of their own financial journey. We also want them to understand that this is a tool that will give them recommendations, maybe some suggestions, but remember, these are recommendations and suggestions. Say you see this and maybe you've got more. These need to be taken. Again, make sure you're taking these as they are. And if you have any additional questions, please reach out to us directly so we can help answer those for you. Uh, because it is a suggestion and recommendation, it is not the end all be all, kind of like what Jess, you were talking about earlier, the Vantage score versus, what is
Mhm.
actually used, which is their FICO. So that's a common question we get, but there are a lot of great tools in here, and we want members to know what is offered and let them explore. In here, we see and hear from members all the time. They love the score simulator. They love the credit score goals journey. We've seen members hit their goals and we celebrate with them. So these are all fantastic tools, completely free for members of Texans Credit Union.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. And then the last tool I wanted to spend some time showing you here, and then I'll go into the other pages, is the financial checkup tool. This is a newer feature. It just launched back in December, so we're only 6 months in to the financial checkup tool. But this provides you with an overall health assessment more than just your credit score. So this is really exciting. There's a quick video here to do a quick overview. So I'm going to turn this on and play it. I don't know if their audio will come through, so bear with me.
And for those of you watching, that is Jean Chachki, a highly rated, highly successful financial educator in her own right. She is on the SavvyMoney staff to help provide great insights, tools, updated information to help your total financial picture there. And this checkup tool, I won't steal Jess's thunder too much, but this is a fantastic tool using the FinHealth score method, which is a think tank for all financial health across the US. They break it down into very easy to manage categories, and it just really helps highlight and help create a plan to reach whatever your goals are.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you so much. I'm sorry the audio didn't work for that, but you guys can take that quick 1 minute overview if you want to hear Jean. And thanks for that overview of Jean, too. We love having her on staff because she is that great educational resource for us. So just to kind of walk through a demo of this, the financial checkup assessment, when you click get started, we're going to ask a series of questions. First, around your current household spending, your financial planning, and then we'll get into monthly budget details. So first we'll ask how many people are in your household? What's your annual gross income? It's okay to guess here, it says, so you don't have to be near your ledgers and spreadsheets to do this. Once you continue, just a quick high level. Over the last 12 months, how was your spending in comparison to your income? And to what degree? Was it less, equal, or more than? And at your current level of spending, how long could you and your household afford to cover expenses if you had to live on only the money that you have readily available? Again, this is without drawing money out of your retirement accounts or borrowing new money. Over the last 12 months, how have you been able to pay your bills all on time and to what degree, or very few bills on time? Next, think about your current debts, including all different kinds of debts, not only the ones that are reporting to your credit report, but even money owed to different people, some medical debt or past due things. What does that look like for you and your household? And is it manageable if you have that? Then we get into financial planning. Again, let's think about the long term financial goals, looking into the future. What are your big purchase items? Is it a vacation? Are you starting a business? Are you just saving up for education or retirement? What's your confidence level in your ability to meet those long term goals? And then thinking about all the types of insurance you and others in your household currently have, in the event of an emergency, how confident are you that you'll be covered for those situations? And then how strongly do you agree or disagree with the statement, my household plans ahead financially? Last question in this section is what's your primary financial goal? Much to the setting a goal for the credit score, are you looking at retirement savings? Are you going to buy a house, save money, pay off debt? Or, you know what? I don't have one, just other. And then finally, in the budget section, we ask, it says 3 questions. It's a little more in depth than that, but it is very quick still. So Now we're going to ask for your monthly take home pay. So this is not the gross number, but the take home that you actually bring home on your monthly paycheck for your household again, if your household pays bills together. I'm going to put in just a quick figure here. And then how much money do we put in a savings account each month? Then what we do with the budget is because Savvy Money has access to your credit profile, we already know that you may have a home loan or a home equity line of credit. And we also know those minimum monthly payments. Now in here, you can adjust those payments and say, actually, I round up on some of these each month. So you can make your budget fit to what's actually going out there for you. Some additional categories if you need to input additional details there. Auto loans, for example, maybe you've got 3 trade lines reporting, but that's because I co-signed on an auto loan for my daughter, and I actually don't pay that bill, she does, so I'm gonna take that out of my monthly budget. Other debts are including those other trade lines that are open. Again, minimum payments here, so if you're rounding up in any of these categories, you can just go ahead and either round up here at the top, say, "Hey, I actually pay 600 total, on these," or you can go line by line and increase those. And then once we're done with the trade line details, then we go into other categories where we give you targets on the next screen in each category. So we give you some ideas about what you should be making sure is included in your budget. You may have way more housing expenses than what's listed here, and that's where that other category comes in. For now, you can also lump sum if you need to do that as well. Groceries, other transportation expenses, I'm just going through quickly here. And then any discretionary free spending you've got for the month. And another other category so you can continue to capture all of the items in your budget there. Now, when I click continue, at the end of this, we're going to get a financial checkup summary. So what we're going to see here is my financial health score. This is largely based on the questions that we answered in the first 2 sections of the assessment. Based on those answers, I scored 75 points, putting me in the financially coping category, which is probably the majority of folks in kind of a trade line who have a lot of credit. And then down below, if you're in red, you would be financially vulnerable, and it explain kind of what you might need to do to get improve that. And then you would be financially, financially healthy, above 80 to 100. Then down below, we're going to take a look at your monthly budget summary, where we're going to say, okay, we have that 5,000 incoming. This is what we have going out. So likely what we're doing is cutting down our savings each month because we're overspending from our income. As we scroll down, we can see that final budget breakdown. This is going to give you a target in each of those budget categories, saying you should be in your housing expenses between 30 and 40%. And so, hey, we're at 38%, so great job here. Now, debt payments, it looks like we need to be between 0 and 10% here. We're a little bit over, so we may need to readjust how much extra we're paying or look at ways that we can put that into a snowball to get rid of some of that debt. Next, in auto loans, you can see 10 to 15% and the decreased number. What's interesting though at the bottom in savings, although it says that we are over our budget and likely savings gets cut last, you really should be improving that to 10 to 15% of your budget and increasing that to a higher number. So this kind of overview is for you, your scenario. This is kind of what it is, what we recommend to do, and then here's the steps that you can take. So how you can do it by clicking again on some of those awesome articles by Jean Chatzky again and her team for that extra education. Once you make some adjustments, you can come out here and edit your budget anytime so that you can kind of look and be in more in line later. You can also go back and edit your checkup and change the answers to your questions as you feel more confident in some of those additional categories to increase your points here. Finally, the last section is the debt to income ratio. In this scenario, I got a 24%, and anything under 30 is really excellent. So I don't have many recommendation steps to take here. Just a great job. And then consider that when I'm taking on additional debt. If I were in some of these higher categories, there would be some additional recommended steps and links, just like the provided recommendations above. And then finally, the last cool feature out here is that we can download this one as well into that PDF. Again, this might be a helpful tool if you're working with a service representative and looking for recommendations on ways that Texans can help. Might be also just great for you to print out and review with a partner or your financial advisor. When you click back on the main screen, you can go back into the actual tool. And when you click close, it will take you all the way back out. And now that you've completed the checkup for the first time, it will show your financial checkup score there. And then you can click in to see your status again and make edits anytime. So it's kind of an ebb and flow. It's kind of an ever changing. You might need to come back and update and work towards some of your goals. All right. And then finally, we've got the loans and offers section. On this page, this is where you're going to be able to see any recommended offers for you based on your credit profile and the offers available from Texans Credit Union. Ways that you may be able to save some interest until payoff by doing a balance transfer, or maybe consolidating your credit cards into a debt consolidation loan to improve your interest savings, for example. You can click through to any of the products that you see here, but there's also additional products within each product page. So you can see we've got the credit card, you've got some auto loan, term loan options there. You can play with the calculator and see what your monthly payment estimate might be at a different, there we go, a different loan amount than what you originally had. It defaults to 25. So if you need to change that up and see what would my estimated monthly payment be at those rates. Same for personal loans, you can kind of see those calculators. On the right side of these uh, pages that display rates, you'll also be able to come out here and see of all of those trade lines that I was reporting as overutilizing. So that Chase card, that Citi card, and that discount tire card, I could come out here and say, what would happen if I were to take out a debt consolidation loan, for example? I'm actually paying closer to 29% at Chase. So you have the ability to edit this. We don't get this information from the credit bureau. So that's why it's cool that you can come out here and make some changes to that. Due to the recent high interest rates, I'm actually paying quite a bit more than what we're assuming here. So you can make those edits. You can also adjust your balances there. Once you have this section complete in the way that your current situation is, we will average out your APR and add up the total payoff amount. Then we'll show you your options with Texans and say on the left side here, you've got your current APR monthly payment and the average cost over the life of the loan that what we're assuming it would take to pay off your credit cards. And then here you've got the interest rate on a 60-month loan term, at the same monthly payment, it would cost you only $4,877 for 60 months, saving you $25,000 in interest at those interest rates. So a really good opportunity for you to take control of not only overutilizing your cards, but how much money you're paying in the end. So to apply, you simply click through to the Apply Now buttons, and that will take you directly into the personal loan application at Texans. You can also see some home loan opportunities that you have available at the credit union, as well as any other offers. And this is a promotional space, so check back from time to time as it may change often. On the alerts section, this is where we're alerting you. So if you remember back on the very first few pages where I said you'll get some credit monitoring alert notifications, you'll also get some emails that say, hey, there's a new inquiry on your credit report. Make sure and check that that was you. Maybe a new account reporting, a bankruptcy report, a collection report, or any payment history. Hey, it's the end of the month and your payment history is still intact. Congratulations. So that's how you can come out here. You can mark all of these as red. You can, and then when you get the new ones, you can just look at new. You can just look at all the credit updates. So you can kind of play around with how those appear. But you'll be notified here as well as by email for those alerts. In the resources section, you have your credit monitoring history, which just takes you back to that alert screen. And then we have frequently asked questions available, more in general about credit scores and reports and how to read them, a little bit about lending and building credit if you're interested there. These are specific to both our credit bureaus as well as SavvyMoney, and our team has provided these answers. And so if you have any of these, I would recommend coming out here. Your Texans Credit Union team is not necessarily they're going to point you here. So I would advise you to come here to get the answers for credit specific questions, as they're not necessarily licensed in all areas to give you these answers. And then in the profile settings, you're going to get some information out here. You've got your name, your email, and your address. This information is only being passed to us from your online banking profile, though. So you're unable to change it directly with SavvyMoney. If you need to make an update to your email, your address there, you see that, we want you to go back to Texans and walk through their process to update that personal information. Then the next time that you log into online banking and then SavvyMoney, that update will be made through those changes. Here in this section is where you can also make changes to the email notifications that you're receiving. So if you didn't want to receive credit monitoring alerts, you could come out here and just with a click of a button, make that change. We also send you a monthly snapshot. And then general messages are just any kind of policy updates and other promotional messages. We really only use this when we change our terms of service. Links to privacy policy and terms of service for SavvyMoney are also here. And then if you have a question specific to your credit trade line or anything like that, again, we are the licensed professionals here that are able to connect directly with TransUnions for you. So come out here, ask questions, and SavvyMoney support team will be able to help you do some research, find out what caused the issue you're looking into, or help dispute with TransUnion as well. And then finally, at the bottom, down here, we do have a deactivate your credit score account. So if you're ever interested in turning off the entire system there, you could deactivate and you would go back to that unregistered user view back out in desktop and mobile. All right, that is everything for the tools that I have for the demo today. I'm going to open it up to Josh for any final comments, and then we can chat about questions if you have them.
Yes. Thank you, Jess. So, for everyone on the call, my favorite tool in this whole process is that financial health assessment. As a licensed financial counselor here at Texans, I can tell you most questions I receive and most counseling I do, yes, it is around credit, but there's so much more to your overall financial picture than just credit. Just did a great job about highlighting insurance coverage, savings, all these things. That is the total picture of your financial health. And we were so excited that this new feature was there because it really does make a difference when looking at the full picture. And again, if you have any questions, you can print out your report, you can print out your financial health assessment and bring it to us and share with us, and we can do the best we can to provide any guidance or help answer questions because that's what we're here for. We are Texans Credit Union. We're your credit union. Our job is to make sure we are doing everything we can to help you reach your financial goals. And I know a lot can be daunting with sharing that, but many of you may have heard this new term, especially on social media, called loud budgeting. And we really do want to encourage that. Loud budgeting is basically taking the shame out of your financial situation. We all make mistakes, we all need help, but we can't help you if we don't know the full picture. So please, please, please share everything you can with us so that we can provide the best solutions for you. And that's my spiel, but I love this tool. I've used it for a long time. Jess and I have been working together for, it feels like 84 years. It's been a while. So we both really appreciate everything this tool provides to everyday users and our members. And the more you use it, the more you get out of it. And again, this is a completely complimentary tool for you. There is no cost to you, the member, to use it. You can log in every day. You can log in once a week. That doesn't matter, but please, please take advantage of this offer available to you. All right, so we have our
Awesome.
first question. Will credit connection work if you have put a credit lock with the three credit bureaus?
Yeah, great question, Don. Thanks so much. It will work. We do want you to be able to monitor your credit. And so all of the monitoring features that I displayed today will work for you just as I demoed them. So I encourage you to get in there and especially make sure you're receiving the alerts for the credit monitoring, alerts updates. But what will happen if you were to click on any of those apply now buttons that I mentioned that go into the application, you would just need to locate the credit bureaus and remove that lock prior to the submission of that loan. Otherwise, Texans is going to have a hard time completing that request anyway. But that's the only kind of caveat you need to know on that particular scenario. Everything else works as expected for you, Don.
And in those offers section that Jesse covered earlier, remember those are offers as in if everything worked out in your favor. That's what it would be. But remember, there's other factors that go into applying for a loan, not just your credit score, but there's debt to income, there's inquiries, all those other features that Jesse went over in that credit report. There's a lot of other factors that come in there. And I like to say that because we don't want members thinking, oh, this is like my final offer. It's not. It still needs to go through the entire loan process so that we can do our due diligence and make sure that we are providing the best level of service for you. But as Jess quoted earlier, you can apply directly for that loan. It'll go to our website, it'll go to our team, and then you will hear from one of our advisors in our lending department, and they will reach out to you just like you would if you went directly to our website. Um, how do you access the tools?
Yeah,
Uh,
so Charles, through online banking, you're going to go into the main dashboard of online banking, and there should be a widget there that says credit connection, and you'll be able to just click on that to enroll if you haven't. If you have enrolled, you should just be able to click on it, and it'll go straight into the dashboard. And all of the tools I demoed today are in the main dashboard on the front page when you log in, called Credit Score and Report. If you have any trouble finding those, you can always visit a service representative or branch, or maybe Josh has another way to help you kind of navigate that hip to hip with you, maybe on your mobile device or maybe an iPad or something.
Absolutely, we do. And then once you activate the service, all you have to do is log back in your online or mobile banking, and it will automatically update where you don't have to re-enroll or do anything. It'll just that widget will automatically be there for you to utilize. Which for me is great because that's one less thing I have to remember a password and username for. Right? It's automatically just signed in once I'm in my online banking.
Right. Perfect. Anyone else with any questions?
I am not seeing any here. So we are actually we're making great time. Budgeted for an hour, and we're 50 in. So again, thank you, Jess. Thank you, SavvyMoney, for being here today and highlighting this amazing feature that we have. To everyone who attended today, thank you so much for sharing your afternoon with us. Please be on the lookout in your emails and our social media channels for the next Text Talk. Coming up, we will have more features from partner organizations that provide great tools and benefits to you as a credit union member. You could also see interviews from our staff to help you with those tools as well. Oh, one last question. Yes, this session is being recorded. We will, once the recording is complete, and we will post it on our Texans YouTube channel, and we will send out announcements when the recording is ready to view. But if you have any specific questions, you can always connect with us through text on our website, through your online messaging, in your online banking, our call center, or your local branch. With that being said, thank y'all very much, and y'all have a wonderful afternoon.